If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So in HCM, we know the person name is Logan McNeil. Okay, Shubha? Yeah. So Logan McNeil is the person for HCM. All right. And for Teresa, we have different one. That is Teresa Serrano. So though we are doing advanced compensation and that is a part of HCM, so we will be using Logan McNeil credentials so that we can have access to all kind of tasks, BP, reports, and we can view, modify whatever we wanted to do on this tenant. So I'll just copy her and proxy. If Logan McNeil's do not work, then we have the short form for L McNeil. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. So let me take you through the Workday tenant or the account for a particular employee. The moment we start working on Workday tenant, we will get our own credentials. But here on this tenant, though this is a practice tenant, this is a GMS tenant, which is Global Modern Service tenant. It's a copy of the tenant what the client uses. Okay, this is just for practice purpose. So the tenant exactly looks the way it is. It's little different, but yeah, most of the things you will be finding here. And the moment we log in with our credentials, this is the page. Here the logo comes. Okay, here our pictures will come, whatever we have provided to our HCM partner. Here our pictures will be appearing, and this is the inbox. Okay, all my task, all my action item, actionable items will be appearing here like this, right? And where I can just click on it and process the actions or the actionable items further. So here, create Workday account. Like for example, Logan, we are on Logan account. So this is what she has got. This is for asking the business process unassigned step audit. So she can reassign the step for this particular business process. So create Workday account is one of the business process, right? So here is the business process. Here is the step, security group, worker, and she can just go ahead and assign further steps to it. That is what is the actionable item for Logan McNeil. So this is the notification. So whatever notifications, whatever is the things that she needs to know about her account or anything, she will get it here. So if you see, though we have two columns, the same way we have in the inbox and notification, but you will not able to see the actions or archive these two things in the notification. This is just for the reading purpose, just for you understanding whatever updates you are getting, it will be here, but you won't be able to work on anything. This is just for viewing purpose. All right.
Okay.
You can refresh it by clicking down here, and then if you you can just mark it as red. Okay, and you can just refresh it. If anything comes new, it will pop up on your screen. You can mark it like newest on top, oldest on top. You can view red all unread. It's just like an outbox, like it just like an Outlook or the email that we use for communication. Okay, here, Logan McNeil. So to view the details of my account, I just need to click on view profile, and this is how it should come. All right, so this is not Logan McNeil what I'm looking for, because her picture should be appearing, and if I see, it's Logan MN. Okay, so I'll just go back again and I'll start proxying again. Meanwhile it pop-ups, we can still find how the profiles look like. Okay, so action item will give you all the uh, required items or required things on my account. So there are 11 more. Okay, see the benefit, related to benefit, and these are arranged in ascending orders. If you scroll down, you can able to see all the informations available related to a particular worker. Okay, this is the worker, these are the actions, the phone number, what is the team, it appears, the employee ID, location, who is the matrix manager, what is the supervisory organization. So in Workday, what happens, whatever whoever worker work, they are assigned a particular supervisory organization. If Subha is working under finance and she have a different supervisory organization with the ID on it, and if Ganguly is working in finance team, then he will have a different supervisory organization. All right, so these are the details which will be appearing, these are the education, you can edit it. So these all are instances that I was talking about, and each instances will have their actionable icons on it. You need to just click on it and you can process further by editing and viewing the further details. So what it is showing, this is Logan M. Okay, a different person though. I have actionable item here. I can just go ahead and view the things here. Same way for Julie Balls, who is the matrix manager for Logan McNeil. Okay, so for her also I can view different, the same kind of items the way I can see on Logan McNeil. All right, and if we talk about location, I can just click ahead and I can see the further locations, like I can edit, I can assign location hierarchy, I can inactivate it, right? So these are the things what I can do. What I mean to say, like I can just click on the instances and I can make further changes as per the requirement. So for Logan McNeil, I wanted to see the compensation part. For example, let's try here again. So T Serrano is, she is the finance administrator or the controller at finance module. She is the powerful lady. The same way Logan McNeil is the one. Okay.
Tina, why does it always says on behalf of, on behalf of?
Yeah. On behalf of, because I'm proxying Logan McNeil or I'm proxying Teresa Serrano. If I have your credentials, then I can start proxy your name and I can act on your behalf of.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. So when I mentioned T Serrano, it was there acted as, right? So
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not T Serrano, but yeah, I am acting as T Serrano by using the credentials.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see how the compensation structure looks like for Logan. You see compensation here? We'll go to compensation. Then we can view compensation. Now we are on Teresa Serrano page. The tenant is taking me to Teresa Serrano page. Let's try to see the compensation package for Teresa Serrano because our purpose is to see just the compensation basis and the elements, right? So we can see. So when I go to Teresa Serrano, the system is giving me the options for these things only. See, okay. To view the options like the compensation packet is not available here. Okay, let me tell you about this. So this is the home page. Okay, this is the main page when we land out once we log into our credentials. These are called the worklets. Worklets can be called as a shortcut to my task, my daily task. Instead of typing or going to the search bar here and mentioning my task like create a compensation plan or create an eligibility rule, I can put my task here and I can just click on it. For example, I got an assignment to create, for example, 10 eligibility rule for a particular set of employees. Then I can just put the task here and that is called my worklet. And I can just find my task and I just click on it and I can start working on it. For example, let's say for easy understanding, let's take time off only. When I click on time off, I wanted to create time offs, right? So the moment I click on it, I see request and views. Here, view means I can only view them. I cannot make any changes. I cannot create any task further. Okay, and request means I can do further actions on these particular tasks. So under time off, I have different tasks available here. So I can create a time off. I can create a time of correction, leave of absence, or return from leaves, right? So when I click on leave of absence, so I will be mentioning the details here, like what is the last day of work, like the day before I go on leave, and then the first day of leave. For example, if I'm working today, I wanted to mention the last day of work is today, and the first day of the leave, it should be tomorrow, right? And the leave type I can pick. So I just want to show like this is the way how the task happen. Okay. So these are the worklets. And my home page is this. My account is this one. By clicking on this, I can get my organization ID, which is this. All right. And I can change my password. I can change the preferences. By preferences, I mean the language on which I can view the tenant, my things here. See, the language is English. I can change it to different language, right? To Spanish, German, anything. But mostly used language is English. Give me a moment. Okay. I can cancel it. So Workbench we have already seen. Workbench here, we can see the optional. All right. This is the worklets we have already seen. So if I click on this gear icon box, I'll see two things. One is optional and another one is request worklets. All right. So optional means I can remove or I can add any worklet, any task. So if I wanted to add here, create position task to my worklet, because this is the daily task which I am doing, right? So I can just add it here. Or if I'm trying to do supplier invoice, okay. So these are the worklets I can add. For example, we have a set of default worklets. See, if I'm dealing with business process, all right, I need to create multiple business process. I can just go ahead and add them, right? That is for security purpose. It was not coming. So these are the default worklets I can utilize. If I'm dealing with integration, I can just click on integrations. For example, I can add it over here. It is happening. So that orange is something alert. All right. The system is throwing an alert. The message should appear here, and then we can just go ahead and review the message and we can take steps accordingly. So I chose integration and that worklet should be appearing now. Do you see integration? It's coming here. The moment I'll click integration here, see actions and view. Again, view means I can only see them. Actions, I can take actions on these. So for integrations, we have total these kinds of tasks available. So when I click on here, for example, then the system is asking me to put the details and proceed with the steps further. For example, I wanted to create integration for inbound, and I'm just showing the inbound is yeah, it is required because as we know, compensation is connected with different modules for payroll, time management, and I wanted to get some data for my time absence so that the compensation can happen. For example, I want ABC inbound integration like this. So it is a kind of shortcut and the system will let me proceed further, right? The moment I'll mention all the details here and I'll click here, it will go. See, it is the next step and the next step, right? And the next step, deliver, and finally we can submit it. All right. Or we can just go ahead and save it later, save for later as a draft, and we can again open it up, right? And then we can complete the task. Any questions?
I'm good.
No. All right. So Workbench, it's all about the worklets, how you manage, how you can view them, and how you can put them on the home page for your easy access. My account will give you all the access to change any preferences and other stuff. And home should be the landing page where you get all the inbox and actionable items, right? All the notifications. And sitemap will have the list of the task on this tenant as per your security. Okay. See, here it is. For example, I wanted to work on compensation, and that should be here. Regarding compensation, I have a list of reports, right? And list of tasks available here. So you can see there are close to 85, 87 tasks available here. Okay. So out of this is like what? For example, I wanted to create calculated plan. I wanted to create a allowance plan, right? So I can just go ahead and click on it. The system will take me through. So I don't need to put those, I don't need to memorize this task or report. It is already there. You can see it's a kind of directory in Workday. Okay. Sitemap, you can take it as a directory and you can just go ahead. If I wanted to create allowance plans on person basis, right? So I can just go ahead and process further. As per the client requirement, I'll just put the plan name, compensation basis. I can take compensation elements. I can take it, right? And I can just process further for this particular task. Okay. So this is how. This is what the sitemap is. All right. These are the sitemaps. We have benefits, we have expenses. So though we are dealing with compensation, so we will be working on these things only. And then we have favorites. So how we can add favorites to our account. For example, manage favorites. Here it is. We have custom report, we have shared custom reports, right? So custom reports, you can see there are 3,246 items. And we have shared custom reports, like whatever reports I have with whom I have shared. So all this, the list will appear here so far. And these are all for Logan McNeil's, not for me, right? Because I am on her account. Okay. So if I click on manage favorites, then the system will prompt me to add further task or report, or to add favorite custom reports or the business object. All right. The moment I'll click here, for example, I wanted to use the business objects as worker. And I wanted to add any custom report which we have created so far. Okay. And the task, if I wanted to put any. So that is called the task or report. And I can just go ahead and click OK. So right now it is not appearing. This is the way how we get the manage favorite task. So by that, I can just go ahead and see my custom reports here. Okay. I can see those favorites over here on my account. Drive is something like we have a Gmail drive, right? So drive where we share all the details. So this is what the drive is. Here you can add files. You can see all your files available here. What are the data which is supporting? I mean, data whatever it's been shared with you, you can see over here. Any favorites you can add. So it's same like Gmail. If you see the format is same like Gmail. Okay, you can trash the informations from here also. Documentation. This is something like all any documents, or you will have access to the community center. Okay, so when you will be working at the client side, you will get the access to the community. See, have questions about signing in, we are here to help. So here you can just, it's like a chat board where you can put your questions, and Workday is going to help you further. Okay, here you can just put your email ID and you can process further by putting the, because it is connected to your credentials. All right, let's go back. And this is the help center. Any help if you need on the community, it's like a document. All right, so any documents for at the client side you can find over here. Any questions so far?
No.
Great. All right, actions. Let's go and have a look on the compensation part for local. Compensation. All right, see, the moment we click on compensation, here the complete details of compensation comes here. Compensation, pay change history, reimbursable allowance plan activities, and other stuff. This is the total salary allowance. The moment you will get the access to Tenant, you can just go over it regarding the compensation things, and we can explore more. What we wanted to see is in compensation package. This is the package for the executive compensation because she belongs to the executive group in her organization. This is the grade. We talked about compensation grade, and this is grade profile. This is for the localization. She is from USA, tier 1 compensation grade profile. And the company she belongs to is GMS USA Global Modernization Company. Okay. This is the plan assignment. So she have these type of plans available in her compensation. All right. And let's see. This is the total base pay and the currency, and the frequency she is getting is annual. The stock grant. Okay, so we know that we have stock plan as well. So these are the stock grants. Dates available. What are the share granted, share vested? You can see everything over here about this. What is the expiration date? Board approved, yes or no? You can see. This is a summary about it. So you will get everything on the Tenant, okay, in real world also, so that you can have a complete details about it, whatever is there in the system for a particular worker. Okay, so grade and grade profile. So these are instances, and I can go over it and I can see the details about the grade. What is the details of the grade? If I click on it, and I can see the view option here. So what's this grade talked about? All right. So for grade, so this is the name of the grade, the description in non-C level executive. All right. This is the pay range. All right. So pay range, this is the minimum. This is the maximum. Okay. So when we clicked on grades, automatically we have grade profiles also available. When we create a grade profiles or a grade, the format is absolutely same. So we can just click on the grade profile and we can create the compensation grade profile. Otherwise, we have grades. Here we can see the pay ranges. The compensation basis is total base pay. So, all right. So in pay range, the minimum we can take is 3 segments and the maximum is 5 segments. We talked about it, right? Remember?
Yeah.
All right. So by looking at this, so we have 5 segmented. This is 5 segmented grade profile, right? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the midpoint. All right. So here I am just viewing the details of a grade, of a pay range. And these are system delivered or Workday delivered. All right. These are auto calculated by Workday. But if we want, if my client want, I can override these values. How we can do that? It is available here. Okay, we have a task and we'll see how to override um, the pay range and how to override these values, segment values, as per the requirement of the client. Okay, this is the compensation grade profiles. So in grade profiles also what we do, we used to add the details over here. All right, these are created by us, these are configured by us, and these are configured by us as a compensation implementer or configurator. Okay, as per the client requirement, we do this, and we will learn how to create it also. This is the pay range. All right, for Logan McNeil. These are compensation basis like total pay, and it's in China. So what is the total cost to the company, target earnings, everything is available here, and these are auto calculator. We don't need to bother about these figures. All right. If any changes needs to happen, then only we should go ahead and make the changes. Otherwise, we just need to put the details, the minimum and the maximum, and the system will provide us these things. Any questions so far?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Now we have over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments, right? And the midpoint. I haven't seen so many segments before. We typically have minimum, midpoint, and maximum. Can we do it that way? Implement it that way?
No, I did not get you. Please repeat that, Ganguly.
So we have over here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments and the midpoint.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, we only use minimum, midpoint, and maximum for a pay range. So is there any way we can implement such that we don't have this segment 1, segment 2, segment 3? We have just minimum, midpoint, and segment 4.
Right. So
Can we do it? Can we implement it that way?
yeah, we can, if we want, we can go up till 5 segments. Okay.
Yeah, but,
So
yeah.
this is just an example. Okay. But
Minimum?
for minimum 3.
3 means
System will,
what?
yeah.
Midpoint, maximum, and minimum. Is that what you mean by 3? No.
No, it should be minimum, then 1, 2, and midpoint.
So what is this third one for? Anyways, I haven't seen this before. Usually, typically, we have min, max, mid.
No. All right. So the moment we will be giving the, okay, when we will create the pay ranges, then we will definitely going to see, and it is going to happen today because we have the access to the tenant. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. So we are just viewing this information. Just give a moment. All right. If I wanted to view any plans also, I can just go over it and I can view these details. All right. I can view, I can edit or delete. Generally, Workday do not let us to delete anything, but that happens only with some organizations or any supervisory organizations, right? Like there are organizations. This is an interview questions when we configure as an SCM implementation partner. They will ask you like how many organizations you have created so far. So the different kind of organization that are available on Workday is supervisory organization, organization, company, cost center, location hierarchy, and then the related organizations you can say like this. So because if we have a company, then the company have different branches available in global, right? So I can assign those companies to my company by creating a company hierarchy. For example, the umbrella is A, and under umbrella A, I have B, C, D companies. These are the sister companies which belongs to A company. So that is called company hierarchy. Same way location. My headquarter is in New Jersey and I have multiple locations and they are inherited to location A, B, C, D. So that is called location hierarchy. All right. Okay. Let's see this great profile. I can view and edit this, but I cannot delete it, right? I'll just click on it. This is the great profile been assigned to Logan McNeil. And this is the name, the pay range, and steps again. So this is 5 segment pay range again. This is the eligibility rules for New York, San Francisco. If we wanted to see, we can just go over it and have a look on it. See, the eligibility rule is created. Okay. So we have parentheses. So just look at this. This is the rule condition. This is for all location compensation and the operator is any in the list and the comparison is value specified in the filter and the value is for the location New York, right? And like this, we can create multiple conditions or rules, okay? And we can keep multiple conditions and we can create a one eligibility rule. It's not defined for only a one particular set of worker, but that is assigned to a particular set of group or the job profile. We will create this also.
So, I have one question. So and is there, right? And we selected all locations as New York, and the
Yeah.
next one I'm adding is or. And again, I'm putting another location, say Michigan. So what would that be? So either New York or Michigan would be selected. Is that correct? If what is the meaning for and or?
Absolutely. So it depends on like where you put this bracket. Okay. So what it read out as, it will go like this. Okay. This location and whatever you will put here, if you are mentioning the management level, then my condition rule says that this is applied to the location and the management level group 1 or the managers and, okay, or whatever you will put. And this is the location is already covered, and manager, and the bracket will be covered here. Yeah, you see that? And instead of this, if I'm adding manager here, then my bracket will be here. Okay,
Okay.
it means that it is covering location and manager. So that is the
Even if
condition.
the next condition starts with or, so it's either or, either the location should be New York or the management. In both cases, it will take, or it will take both New York and what is or used for? That's my question.
So or means it will take just one.
Okay.
Okay.
Either the New York or the management. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. That is the reason we take and means the both the condition will apply, or means just one out of it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So allowance plan. We have three types of allowance plan: amount based, person based, unit based. Right? Let's take unit based. Okay. I can just view an allowance plan as well. All right. These are the allowances, right? These are the salary, merit, bonus, and stock. Let's have a look on the kind of allowance plan we have. Let's have a look on it. Housing allowance plan. So what are the elements and what are the prerequisites we have for the allowance plan? We have effective dates, plan name, plan descriptions provided by all these by the client. Plan eligibility. So when we talk about plan eligibility, this is the job profile, okay, or it can be a job family also. But here the eligibility rule, this housing allowance plan eligibility rule is meant for the job profile for the executive level 1. What she falls under? This is the condition rule. I can just assign a compensation component to the rule, or I can check the compensation eligibility here also. See, this is the derived logic. Okay, this is the condition. See, there are brackets available here. We made the plan, we made the rule. Okay, and Workday will give you the derived logic, because sometimes we don't understand, we get confused out of it. So I have got a requirement to create a conditions rule. I created it. Okay, the moment I'll create it and I'll submit it, my system will give me a derived logic here. This is the explanation of this rule. I'll just go through the rule. The job profile, this, which is any in the selection list, right? And which is the chief data officer, everything. The list will be covered here. Chief executive officer, financial officer, information, and chief operating officer. This is what it is giving me. If I would have added and or more below to it, right? For example, this is just the job profile. There is no location involved here. If I would have added a location or I would have added something else, then in that case, it would have given me further details about it. So this is the description. If I see that there is any change in this particular logic, then in that case, I can compare it to my requirement. And if I see the change is there, then I can make the changes over here. Okay. And when my requirement and my derived logic matches, then I can go ahead and submit this rule. This is how we do at the client side. Okay.
Yeah.
And according to the BP, for example, my business process says that whatever compensation eligibility rule, whatever eligibility rule I am creating, if I am the initiator, I don't need any approval. Okay, I can just create and I can just go ahead and use because these BPs are client specific. Okay, if my client want that any compensation um, implementer or configurator, whatever, if they create a particular eligibility rule, it doesn't need any approval and it cannot, it can go ahead and use by the end user, then in that case, my request is not going to go to any manager. But if they says that the manager approval is required, then I will be the only initiator and my data is going to be, for example, my manager is Teresa Serrano, for example, then she will get this request under her inbox. She can just go ahead and review it and approve it. And after that only my eligibility rule is going to be activated. Otherwise, it will be always under the inactive status. Okay, it's a task which is going to be inactivate status. All right. See, the eligibility rules I can pick whatever I have created. It is going to be appearing here. Though we have not tried for the any eligibility rule, we cannot figure it out here. But see, this is the partial list. Okay. This is not the complete list of the 500 entries, or this is not the complete list of the tenant, whatever we have. For example, if I have taken any, I wanted to take the eligibility rule for all manager, let's take. Okay. And I can put the name here.
Tina, I have a question.
Sure.
In the eligibility rule, when you showed us, you said it goes for the business process, it goes for approval. So, in the real time, when we have given a criteria and we created the eligibility rule, before putting it in the allowance plan, does it go for approval? Is that what you meant?
It depends on the business process, what your client have decided. If the client says that, okay, my initiators are, they are capable of creating the eligibility rule and I do not need any approvals to it, then my eligibility will always automatically be activated once they submit it. It doesn't need approval. But if the business process says that all my eligibility rules should pass through an approval, then in that case, definitely those requests are going to first to the manager, and once the managers review it, then they approve it, then only it will be appearing on the
Okay.
eligibility rule list. So it will appear like this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be appearing here.
Tina, I have a question.
Sure.
Can you create an eligibility rule on the fly? Look, right over here. So you're
Yeah,
creating
sure.
an allowance plan, and then you come down and say, oh, shoot, I didn't create it. So can you create an eligibility rule on the fly? Or you have to go to that screen and then create it and come back to the screen again?
Oh, okay. So you mean to say that from here?
Yeah? Yeah, because it's, oh, shoot, I did not create it. So let me create it
Yeah.
over here.
Right. So we have a task to create the eligibility rule.
So you have to
And
go back to the task.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have to go to the task here.
Task, okay.
Yes. And then we can create the eligibility rule. Once we create the eligibility rule, then that
Then it
it
will
is
show
going
up
to
over
be,
here.
yes,
Okay.
it will show up here.
So it won't, you can't do it on the fly from here. You have to go back to that screen.
Yes, because here we don't see, right? See, what happens generally when we get these kind of these are
Yeah.
called, yeah, these are called multiple selections things, right? So here if I click on partial list, I can select multiple things, right? Okay. So generally what happens, if I want, I should get an option here generally. create eligibility rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been wonderful.
Yeah, it is there for some of the tasks. It is there, for example, supplier account or any create position. Okay, supplier account or supplier invoice, if I have not created, but I am trying to create supplier invoice. Okay, I don't know
Yeah.
if you can relate it or not. Are you guys a little familiar with the finance thing? Okay,
I don't
for
know this finance, but I can follow what you're saying. Yeah.
okay, all right. And Shubha, what about you? You good? Example I'm taking?
Yeah. I
Oh,
understand.
all right. For example, for creating a supplier invoice, what is the mandatory or what are the prerequisites we need? We need a supplier account, correct?
Mhm.
For example, I am on a page of supplier invoice, but I did not create supplier account. Then here, create supplier should be there. Okay, so I can just go ahead and click on it, create a supplier account, and then it will automatically pop up here. The same for the reports also. When we are trying to put any fields over here, any calculated fields, then this particular report, my custom report, will show me to create calculated field. Then I can just click here and I can click on the calculated field. I can create it. My calculated field will be here and I can add that to my report. This is how it happens. But here we see only the create, yeah, eligibility rule is not there. So we can just go ahead and create our eligibility rule. Okay. This
Thank
is the
you.
task. You're welcome. And we can just click on it and we can see there are different eligibility rule available here. Okay. Dependent benefit eligibility rule, benefit plan eligibility rule, like this. We can just click any one and we can proceed according to the requirement, and this is the condition we can give. We'll do it. Okay. What does it mean here? Eligibility rule, though it is showing up, what does it mean? When I'm trying to give this eligibility rule and what does it mean? Let me have a look. Where it is gone. So that job profile, okay, we saw that eligibility rule for the job profile. What does it mean? We are restricting the eligibility rule for that particular profile, right? Whatever we are selecting from the system, isn't it? If you are creating any condition, then we are restricting that specific task to that particular job profile or job family, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So we have seen the compensation package. We have seen grades and grade profile. Yeah, grades, grade profile. This is the compensation package, all right, which have salary allowance and merit bonus stock with descriptions on it. So what is the basic thing, what we need to do to create any task or to create eligibility rule or to create allowances? What is the basic thing we need to do first? Yeah.
Uh,
Like we should understand the requirement first, right?
yeah.
Then only we can create that. This is the task, okay, to create the eligibility rule, create compensation eligibility rule. So we will first give the description. Description we can give any. For example, XYZ. I wanted to create the compensation eligibility rule for the executive. Okay, so this is XYZ executive compensation eligibility rule. Give me a moment. We can put the comment. So comment we can just we can put any comments here. For example, I wanted to create this eligibility rule for all the employees working in USA. Okay. USA are eligible for Christmas bonus. Okay, and this is the country specific. All right, though I have employees in US, Canada, Philippines, right, but I want only the employees who are working in US, they are eligible for Christmas bonus. Okay, so this is one of the condition I am mentioning here. Second point, all the employees working in Illinois are eligible for car allowances. So these are the condition sets I am putting for my eligibility rule. Okay. This is the two condition I wanted to give. And this is the category. If my client has given, I can choose the category of it. All right. Otherwise, I can just leave it blank. This is the derived logic. The moment I'll put the conditions here, rule here, then definitely I should be able to read it. Let's take it. Sorry, it should be here. Compensation country is USA. Okay, but I'm looking for take your management level compensation. Okay. Let's take the first one. Okay, so we have to first figure out like which business object, which source link we are supposed to take. All right. So these are the source link. So if I click on these three dots, see management level, compensation rule targetable, and this is the description, returns the applicable management level for all job profile. So I can take this. Relation operator. So we have frequently used, whatever we are using, we can take. I wanted to take none in the list, or is empty or non-empty, or any in the list. Okay, we'll take any in the list. And then the comparison value. What value I can give. All right. So though I have selected the management, yeah, the management level. So I can take, for example, let's take chief executive officer. I can take executive, we have VP. Okay. So chief executive officer is already picked, and I wanted to take executive VP or something from here. Let's take executive VP here. Okay. See, it's already there. And let me click OK. So my compensation rule is this one. Description is this. We have comments here. I have added. This is the derived logic. So the management level is any in selection one for this, and this is the rule. If we see about the rule usage, this is just the compensation eligibility rule. Okay. This is how the rule is created. Any question?
In the comment, it says employees working in USA, and that we did not add it yet, right? And
No. Yeah, we did not add because I did not give locations to it. But if I wanted to give location, then in that case, I can go ahead. See, I can edit it. Okay, like this. If I wanted to put the location here. Let's say country of location.
so in this case, both if they are in management level and if they are in US, they will be given.
Right.
And how would you bring that, the specific people in Illinois are going to get the car allowance? How do you bring that up in this rule?
Sure, we'll see.
Okay.
Because see, yeah, this is country, right? And this is the state, right? So if I wanted to specify, though this is like location, sublocation is not, it will be a niche, I would say, for a particular eligibility rule. But we can select a particular location and then a particular management level. Okay. So here we can give or. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that I understood. So USA and management, or you said Illinois, and how would you specify that they are going to get the car allowance?
Yeah, I'll let you know. Give me a moment. Let's first select the country. Okay. Country, United States of America. Okay, it's already been compensation. Okay. Country of location, primarily in compensation. We should be using this one first. Where there is a primary location, returns country of the primary location, otherwise this one, same value of country location. So we should be taking this one. All right, then this one is N in the list. All right, in here, we can put United States. I can add more if I wanted to give the multiple locations. Okay. Right. So here what I'm doing, I'm giving a location and management level. See. So the location is United States and management level. Now my condition says that. Okay. And the car allowances, yeah, this is when we will be creating the allowance, then we will be picking these things. Then I can name it as car allowance, but this is just the compensation rule I'm making right now, and this is the descriptions only. Okay, so this is going to be connected to my car allowances or any kind of allowances which I'm going to prepare. Okay. Yeah, so this is only the descriptive part, which we can put any. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions? We can add more job profiles also to this. Whatever. Okay. So now I have got the eligibility rule. For next eligibility rule, I can use the same. My client says that, hey, I need to edit and I need to add more job profile to this. All right. Apart from this, I wanted to add more, or I wanted to add some more location, and I wanted to give one conditions more, right? So by adding the job profile or by adding the location, I wanted to add more. So in that case, I can go ahead and edit it and I can run it on the same thing. It doesn't mean that eligibility rules needs to be started or created from the scratch. Okay, like somewhat see here also we have all the basic things are covered, right? I can make changes to it, not only this particular or the next one, but in future also, like after couple of days also or month, if I want, I know that this particular eligibility have already these things configured, like 70% are configured, and I wanted to put more details to this particular eligibility rule, then I can pick it. Okay, but we should have these things documented. So the moment we click on the name, for example, copy text, and let's go to this account, paste it. It should appear. See, this is the condition rule. I can just go ahead and make the changes to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions? Ganguly, are you chatting or you will be just saying? No.
No, I understand. I have to play around a little bit.
Good, thank you.
You get access to the system, right?
Yes, what Shiva said, you should get the access to the system.
Play
Yeah,
around.
check with your team. Yeah, say again.
I said, if I play around, it will become more clear if I do it myself. But I've understood what you're
Okay,
trying
all
to
right.
do.
Yeah, sure. And the moment you will practicing, then you will get a more clearer picture.
You get a better feel for it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can feel the changes, like what
Yeah.
requirement you have. You can put the details, whatever you are creating in this under the comment box, and then accordingly you can prepare it. And make sure that you are comparing whatever you have mentioned, whatever you have received in the derived logic, and whatever you have received in the ticket to create the thing.
So when I'll create my own eligibility rules, I'll first put my initials, right? So that it doesn't get confused. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I put this, so you can put your initials. You
SG
can
or
put,
something. SG.
yeah, so that it will be easy recognized for you, because on this tenant, a lot of people practice. So otherwise we'll get confused, and you can just create and view them further.
When we are going to select for all employees, it should be done by selecting organization. Is that correct? Or is there any other way to bring all employees?
Okay. All employees means here, all employees means employees who are working in this particular location.
No,
And
not this case, but generally I'm asking, if I want to select all the employees and give them a particular thing, then it has to be, I have to select the supervisory organization. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes. So supervisory organization is not the one which contain the complete list of the worker, all right? But yes, supervisory organization, you, for example, in your supervisory organization, you can take, if you are from HCM, then you can take that. But if you wanted to take the organization for HCM and finance, then in that case, you have to define again here. Okay, we can go to the source field and we can take the supervisory organization ID name, and it will be provided by the client. Okay, the data should be there, like which supervisory organization you wanted to put here under this condition for whom you are creating the rule. Okay, the moment you will put, and it will be applied to them.
Okay. So Workday wise, if for a particular company is, for example, General Motors, in the case of Workday, all the departments will be as a supervisory organization in the Workday tenant, correct? And then if I want to give everybody, then I have to select all the supervisory organization and then give them the bonus or something. Is that correct?
Absolutely. If you are working for General Motors, then, and you wanted to create a rule for General Motors for that particular supervisory organization. For example, they have 10 supervisory organization and they have asked you to collect all the workers from all the supervisory organization. Then you have to pick those supervisory organization in this list.
Okay.
Yeah. It completely depends on what the client want, and accordingly we can configure. And if you, for example, sometimes what happen, we tend to make a mistake. Okay. So if we submit it and if it will go to the manager and they approve it, then if they find any problem, it will definitely come back to us, okay, to make the changes on it. And these things that doesn't happen so quick. So in an hour we have created the eligibility rule, but in real it is going to take time. Okay, the turnaround time may be like 2 days. And sometimes what happens, the manager also approves it, and then this this eligibility rule is now being used by the end users, right? in the production tenant, they find some problem, like they are not able to, um, pick this United States, or they are not able to pick some another job profile, for example, manager. Then in that case, the support and maintenance things comes into the picture. So they will send us back a kind of feedback, like though we have got the task to add manager in this thing, but we are not able to do that. So in that case, what we will do, we will again get a ticket. See, it depends on the profile what I get at the client side. If I am dealing only with implementation, then I'll not handle that task. But if I am doing support and maintenance also, then I might get the chance to edit it. Then in that case, I will make the changes here by adding manager profile here
Okay.
and completion of the support and maintenance task.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you help me with the grade? Like what can be the task to create a compensation grade?
Grade, compensation grade.
Absolutely. Create compensation grade, this one. Okay. See, this is 4, it is mentioned, but if I'll take 2, it is throwing me error. If I'll take 6, it will throw me an error. So the number of the segment must be 3, 4, or 5. Let's take 3. Okay, and if I wanted to create a grade profile along with it, I can click on here. Otherwise, if my client says that, okay, create a grade, and then the client says that later after creating it, they want me to create a grade profile, then I can follow the same. So here, let's take APC compensation grade. Description, we can give anything. All right. Okay, base pay element. So base pay element is, we always take standard. All right. The eligibility rule. Okay. ABC eligibility rule, right? How many usage it have? See. Though this is not our.
Ours is XYZ.
Yeah. Oh, I did not take the screenshot. Okay. This one. XYZ compensation. Yeah. This is ours. We can take this. Currency. Though my company is in US and I deal in US, so I can take USD, but this is not the you can say mandatory currency going to happen in future. I can change the currency preferred also, or the preferred currency. Okay, and the frequency I can choose from here. Let's say annual. Okay, so though I have taken 3 segment, okay, so minimum is here, okay, midpoint is here, maximum is not provided. Okay, so here I can, for example, I can give, yeah, 1 lakh is the minimum, and if I click here, where's the 2 lakh. So this is the one. Okay. The moment I click here, it is Workday delivered value, and 1 lakh is provided here, and the segment 3, because I selected 3 segments. The moment I'll put 5 segment, on 5 segment I need to mention the maximum value, and this is the mid value. Okay, because this is the mid value 50,000. If I want, I can override these values. Okay, if I want, after 1 lakh I can give 1,20,000, and then 1,40,000, and then 2 lakh, like this. So whenever my compensation or the range I'm selecting, if I wanted to give the minimum value, okay, to 1 lakh, and the maximum to, we can go for 1,50,000. Okay, and until 1,50,000 the client partner can approve it. Otherwise, if we goes to 2 lakh, then we need the manager's approval.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.